Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, to the world of Wayne, and continuing with the Build Your Own DeLorean marathon that I'm on at the moment. It's Eagle Bosses, issue 61 of that magazine. Issue 61, not as big as the last issue, but still big enough because we've got the trunk section of the vehicle. I've just laid that out here, as you can see. Let me just show you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be removing the shipping bits again. We're going to be adding a little catch that's going to stop the trunk lid just flying off on its own. A little spring there. And then we're going to be bolting the whole lot together. So this is really going to make the whole thing come together. And I can't wait to get this frame on the vehicle, which I've got over there in the underneath that blue towel. So I'm just going to move this to one side because the first thing we're going to do is just remove this shipping thing here. And I'm going to do it just one here without losing that spring, because I can see, I'm just going to focus on the spring because I can see that's probably going to be an issue. It always is. So we don't want that pinging off. So this is step one. It just says remove the shipping support by 2 screws. Nice of them to send the another screwdriver in the last issue, I have to say. It's a lot thicker than the last one. As a matter of fact, let's just show you that on camera. Look, see, it's a lot thicker than the last one. But there we go. That's step one done. Right, step two, we're going to be putting a catch in, and we're going to be putting the catch in just into there. As a matter of fact, on the top camera, just into there. Now, the way it wants us to do it is to put this sort of like unit in, which is going to go into the slot just like that. Put the spring over the top of it, and then once that's in, put this whole thing down. What you've got to do is you've got to line up the spring though. So once the spring's on just like that, we've got to line up. God, it's so tricky. We've got to line up this bit that goes on. So that step 3 is putting it in, step 4 is putting the spring in, and step 5 is putting this little bit of plastic in with the open end facing upwards. So when I get this down, the problem we're going to have, I'm going to try and do this sort of off camera, is to line up the pinhole with the spring, which has gone in absolutely perfectly. And I'm just making sure that the spring does, the catch does do. Now I'm going to hold that in place because we've got to put this in with NM screws, which are these ones just down here. I'm hoping you can see that on the camera. If that wasn't going to work, I was going to actually just assemble the thing together and put it into the, and put it onto the vehicle. Because the advantage of having my deliveries late is that I went over to my friend Dave's channel on the Life of Brian and watched him do it. And that's how I plan to put that in. But obviously I've managed to get it in the other way. But if you haven't done so, go and check his site out because it's pretty cool. And I do watch other people's videos, you see. So I do love that. I have linked his channel in past issues of this. So but just do a find for the Life of Brian DeLorean and you'll find it. Anyway, that's that bit in there. And as you can see, you can just test it by just pushing down on that spring. And it should make that catch go up and down. So that was step 5 done. Now we're going to be bringing this whole unit back. You probably would have noticed actually that the top camera, I've had to zoom out to get this thing in. But pretty crazy stuff. But what's going to happen is this is going to basically, might help if I put it the right way around, eh? Basically this is just going to slot onto the top just like, it's fiddly, just like that. I'm holding it because it was going to drop down. Oh no, it's going to keep itself up like that. Once that's done, that was step 6, putting them together. We're going to start bolting them in with these OM screws that we got here. Now the first screws that we've got to put in, I'm going to go on the side camera, just at the side here. We've got 2 screw holes there. So let's get them in. The screw holes are actually on this bit of the vehicle, not the trunk bit. So put the first one in. And they should go in absolutely perfectly. And you know what? When you feel a screw biting, it's such a good feeling. Let's put the second one in. Oops, look at me. Look at me. See, I'm putting it in the wrong hole. I'll push that one over. The hole you want to put it in? No, I have put it in the right hole. I thought it was the bottom one. I have put it in the right hole. Let me just show you again. I'm putting it in that hole there and that hole there. Not the bottom one. So let's get that in. And then guess what we're going to do in step 8? We're going to do the other side. So turn that around, load up a screw, and put that in. So it's the let's get me bearings again. So it's the top hole. And then once that's in, making sure it's nice and tight, we put the last one in, which is the second hole from the bottom, just that one there. I hope I'm not giving you, what's the word I'm looking for? Exhaustion from my videos. I have to admit, I was absolutely knackered yesterday after all the videos we did. Absolutely knackered. But I don't think they're going to be as fiddly today. Look at that. That looks great. Really happy with that. Okay, we're not finished though. The last thing we've got to do, I think we've got 4 bolts to put in. So I'm going to turn this upside down because we've got 4 bolt holes just on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we're going to be putting these in with OM screws. So we get them in. And this is pretty much attached to that to never come off again. Hopefully. Unless I make a cock up and, you know, have to do something. Which means taking it apart. No issues in this one. I have to say the last issue I wasn't too happy about that little lock catch, if you have watched issue 60. But the fun thing about these builds, as you can see from that light box that we made, is it does give you scope to do your own thing. So this is the last screw in, and I'll turn it back around here. You can see the size of that now. Look at that. That's on the side camera there, and straight up for the top there. I'm just going to let you measure it at the moment. Look, 30, so you're looking roughly around about 30, 40, it's about 53 centimetres long. About 13 centimetres high. 53 centimetres long. That is massive. That issue 61 done. Issue 62, we're going to be putting the windscreen in. That should be fun. If I don't break that, but we'll have to see what happens. Hope you enjoyed that video. Take care.